Nobody ran for their condo board because they wanted to write up a neighbor for the wrong color patio furniture. But here you are. And if your community doesn't have a consistent enforcement process, every single violation becomes a personal conflict. Today, I want to show you why most boards are one complaint away from a lawsuit and why the fix isn't stricter rules, it's the right system. Here's the first thing boards get wrong. They treat enforcement like a judgment call. Someone sees a violation. They decide whether it's worth the fight and they act, or they don't. That inconsistency is actually your biggest legal exposure. Courts and arbitrators don't look at whether you enforced a rule. They look at whether you enforced it consistently. Selective enforcement, even when it's unintentional, opens the door to discrimination claims, estoppel arguments, and personal liability for individual board members. Most boards have no idea that gap exists until they're sitting across from an attorney. The second issue is what I call the gotcha culture problem. When enforcement feels punitive, when owners feel like they're being watched and caught, you don't get compliance. You get resentment. You get appeals. You get owners who show up to every board meeting looking for a fight. The communities that actually achieve high compliance rates aren't the strictest ones. They're the ones that lead with education. First notice is informational. It's a reminder of the rules, a reference to the governing documents, and a clear timeline. Not a fine, not a threat. That single shift changes the entire tone of the relationship between the board and the community. The third piece is what most boards completely underestimate: documentation. If your enforcement process lives in someone's email inbox or in the memory of your longest serving board member, you don't have a process, you have a liability. Every notice, every response, every escalation step needs to be time-stamped, tracked, and defensible. When an owner challenges a fine, the board that wins isn't always the one that was right. It's the one that has the clean paper trail. Here's the reality. Building an enforcement system that's legally sound, emotionally neutral, and actually produces compliance is not simple. The notice workflows, the escalation timelines, the documentation requirements, the specific language that holds up in your state, these aren't things you'll figure out as you go. And the cost of getting it wrong isn't just an uncomfortable board meeting. It's a special assessment to cover legal fees or a board member facing personal liability because the process wasn't followed. If your community is running enforcement on instinct, it's time to have a real conversation about what a professional process looks like. At ManageMax, we know that effective community management is built on transparency and systematic excellence. We provide full-service HOA and condominium management across Southeast Michigan, handling everything from accurate financial reporting to proactive maintenance. Our goal is to reduce the burden on your board while protecting your property values. If you're looking for a partner who values accountability as much as you do, visit us at managemaxproperties.com. Let's build a stronger community together.